So Chris Pratt, better known to us Marvel fans as Peter Quill, Star-Lord, in Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers, has recently come under criticism from the alt-left for wearing a shirt that has our American flag superimposed by the Gadsden imagery and "Don't Tread on Me" written below the flag. Now, they're trying to claim that this shirt represents racism because in some instances it has been photographed by hateful plankton who walk down the street with Nazi flags and Confederate flags and the Gadsden flag. Now, anybody with two active neurons to rub together who knows anything about the Gadsden flag knows that this is complete propaganda horseshit. The principles of the Gadsden flag will soon be made apparent. We'll go into that. But first I want to tell a little personal side note. Once before I was a YouTuber, I ran a channel about the M1911, designed by John Moses Browning, who, in addition to that fine piece of engineering, basically modernized warfare in the 20th century. Now, the page did pretty well, but through that, I ended up becoming friends with a couple hundred people, and many of them were members of the military or veterans. And yeah, sometimes they can come off as knuckleheads, but they're actually some of the best guys that you could ever know. Now, while I was adminning that page, I became aware of a company called Forged, and unfortunately, the circumstance was the passing of American sniper Chris Kyle. Now, despite what you want to think about Al-Shaitan Ramad, Chris Kyle was a good guy. He did what he had to do, but once he was out and had started to process his own feelings, he realized that by reaching out to other vets and helping them process their feelings, he could start to find some peace. And unfortunately, during one of those moments of outreach, he was shot in the back by an unstable ex-Marine, leaving behind 2 small children and a widow. Now, in response to this, there was a t-shirt company called Forged, which was founded by ex-Navy SEAL members. Now, Chris Kyle was a Navy SEAL. There are only a handful of U.S. SEAL teams, right? And they are brothers. They've been through shit that nobody else can understand. So when one of their own falls, everybody is sorrowful. And Forged, following Kyle's passing, created a t-shirt that utilized the Punisher logo, which was Kyle's units. Like they spray painted that on their plate armor and kind of used that as a symbol to fear us. They took that and Kyle's nickname, The Legend, and put out a t-shirt based on that. And I bought in on that. They raised a ton of money, and selflessly they gave all that money to the Kyle family. And it just so happens that Forged is also the t-shirt company that made the product that Chris Pratt was photographed wearing. So you don't tell a Navy SEAL that he's racist or petty or bigoted because he bled for your ass. And Forged, having read the quote-unquote media's accusations, released the following scathing statement. Don't tread on Pratt. We at Forge would like to address the baseless accusations against Chris Pratt and claims that he supports white supremacy because he wears our Don't Tread on Me t-shirt. First and foremost, Forged is a Navy SEAL-founded, patriotic, and military-inspired brand. As we fought for our country, many of us wore the first Navy Jack flag on the sleeves of our uniforms, which the Gadsden military authorized flag is based on. This incredibly powerful symbol was one of the first flags flown by our Continental Navy since 1776 and is still widely used by our military forces today. We want to set the record straight on the Forged Gadsden Flag t-shirt, aka RESURGANCE. We have re-released this design today to show our support for Chris and to clarify the design and meaning behind the design on one of our most popular t-shirts. So that's right, kids. I'm going to drop a link to Forged in the description, and you can get your very own copy of the very same t-shirt that so pissed off these SJW weirdos. And by putting on one of these t-shirts, you are further extending your middle finger against people who would like to control your thought by limiting your language and ability to express yourselves, even as they decide that it's okay to wear pussy hats and take knees during the national anthem and all that kind of stuff. Because either we're all able to express ourselves or none of us are allowed to. Now, a little bit about the Gadsden flag itself. It's named after its designer, Christopher Gadsden. It was adopted in 1778 and flown in the face of tyranny. Now, the flag itself has a yellow backdrop. It features a coiled rattlesnake, which when the Europeans came off the ships and started looking around, they found this tenacious beast who would not give an inch and sit there and shake its tail and intimidate you. And yes, bite you if necessary. And then it says, "Don't tread on me," which, as a belly-crawling serpent, there's a literal meaning. Don't step on it, you'll get bit. But it's also, fuck you. Don't come over here. Or if you do, take a sip of my neurotoxin. So the takeaway here is that the people who bled for this flag and laid the foundation of the greatest country that the world has yet to produce, and the weaver of the fabrics of the t-shirts that are coming under fire to say that they're symbols of racism, is completely ignorant. So please do your research. Don't just read the shill garbage tier media. Figure out what these things mean and decide for yourself. Hey, if you don't want to wear the shirt, don't buy it. But don't mistake it for what the fuck it is. We can't all be soldiers, we can't all be scholars, but we can all respect each other, right?